So as you all know, I do not like top 20 player lists. As you all know, I'm a firm believer that this game is more team focused than ever. With Rocket League, like, we all know that there is 3 players on a team, and anytime you change one player, it completely changes everything. I agree, there's some players that are more impactful than others, but to think that one person doesn't need those other 2 to be impactful as well is arbitrary to me. So I'm a firm believer in team, not individual. With that said, when SunlessKhan reaches out, you help. That's just how it goes. You kick and scream along the way, which I think he made note of in this video, but you help out. It's SunlessKhan. It's your boy Sunless. So for those that don't know, SunlessKhan, and shoutouts to Sunless, he put out a video that he does every year of the top 20 players in 2021. We're gonna watch it together with chat, and we're gonna see how it goes. For those that don't know, there was 6 of us, which he'll detail in the video, that he asked for our top 20 lists, as well as 21 through 30 for like honorable mentions, people that we know are like within consideration, just to give a little bit of extra. And the nice thing about that too is it may bump people from that like 18, 19 spot up or down. So it'll be interesting to see on what the curation actually came out to be. Sunless is obviously an editing genius and knows how to make a video, so I am excited to see this. I have not seen this at all. I don't know how it goes. The only thing I do know is he put something I said about making the list into the video, so that should be fun. But let's take a look. This will be just an organic watch. We haven't seen this before. We'll react to it. We'll give our thoughts and opinions and see if someone's too high or too low. I personally will only probably have that type of opinion for like the top 5 maybe, or make some arguments for here or there. I would have to actually go and look at my own list. I did it pretty quickly, but I did put a little bit of thought into it and compared with some stats and stuff. I tried to give them a pretty good list. So with that said, let's transition and take a look at the video. I can guarantee you the number 1 is going to be something goofy until it's the actual real one, which we all know is going to be Monkey Moon, right? Can we all agree, chat, right now that Monkey Moon is number 1? Is that just what we're doing? We all agree Monkey Moon is number 1? Okay, sweet. All right, here we go. This is the video. SunlessKhan. Shout out SunlessKhan. If you guys don't support him, do you even watch Rocket League content on YouTube? Either way, here we go. All right, here we go.
Shots on target, off the bar and out. How's that in the background? There's another setup. Squishy has to get rid of the ball.
I never heard that. What?
To a wild conclusion in 2021 with the first in-person LAN tournament in 2 years.
I didn't know that happened at LAN.
Bing bong.
There's been a ton of drama and trash talk in the scene about which region is better, and now all the top players and teams were finally
what was that? Hold on.
Talking the scene about which
we're better.
No,
we'll know we exist. Oh, it's OCE upside down. Got it. Okay.
Drama and trash talk.
Yeah, it sounds like R2D2.
In the scene about which region is better, and now all the top players and teams were finally able to duke it out
Clip
in a
reset.
wildly entertaining 16-team
Great shot by Fever, by the way.
In Sweden. So while you were ball
Mad,
chasing in
clutching
Champ
it.
1, these guys were helping us answer the question we all want to know the answer to: who is the best Rocket League player in the world? With a major like Sweden under our belt,
I think the coolest thing about this is because Sunless has such a casual audience. Showcasing esports is always awesome. So I love when he does these.
Will be perfect for you because you'll get a glimpse of who's on top in this game right now and why. You'll also see how quickly things change in this esport. A player can be on top one moment and at the bottom the next. I'm sure we can all relate from playing this game. So here's the top
I can't.
20
I don't play this game.
players in the world right now.
Not anymore.
2021 calendar year of events. To get this list, I
Hey,
created
it's
a
me.
committee of respected analysts, coaches, and
Nailed it. Statisticians.
The list to create a master aggregate list.
I've butchered that word so many times.
Don't take it up with me or them for that matter. Instead, maybe just stop fanboying or fight it out in the comments. That works too. Starting off, here's this year's honorable mentions. 10 players.
All right, who we got for honorable mentions? Well, Khaled, TRK. I think TRK is better than top 20. Well, Khaled could possibly in arguments. Atomic is pretty good, but with his LAN performance, you have concerns. Amphis is really good, and I think OCE in general is underrated. Astral has taken a step back, what it feels like, but I think people know his potential. AJG is really good. KDOP has definitely taken a step back, so I can understand that one. Fever, again, OC underrated. Cash, I think, is very, very good. I think I put Cash in my honorable mentions. And then Kaio. Kaio's cracked too. I mean, his name is literally Kaio TG1, which is the great one.
Just outside the top 20. This is already a perfect example of how much the scene has changed in 2021, as there are already 7 new names here that weren't on last year's list. This is also where I give you disclaimers like, top 20 lists are stupid because Rocket League is a team game, and all the players are insanely good. One of our contributors said making this list was like pulling teeth, so I guess that means...
I said, that was me. It was a pain in the butt.
it was hard or something. I don't know. I just want to see who's good and who fell off. So let's dive in. Starting at number 20, guess what? We already have a newcomer, Shad. Shad is the first South American player
Shad is very good.
On my top 20 list,
he's the clear favorite on complexity. Very, very solid player. It's gotta be awesome too. I mean, you're talking a player that was expectations as a team going from South America #1 to NA top 5 to actually top 8 in the world. He's very good.
Next at 19, we have yet another Sam player.
Jan, it's a boy.
His team Furia is the best in South America, and he's a big part of why there's a newfound respect for the region, especially with mechanical plays like this.
Approaching halftime, nobody on the backboard. Jan. Oh, he's got the flip.
He's so good. Jan's so good.
Oh my word.
Number 18, Sipical. It's a surprise to find our number 4 player from last year.
He's regressed a little.
But the truth is, it's been a rough year for SSG and SIP. The contributors rightfully value the Sweden major as a big factor for this list ranking, and it's tough to be any higher than 18 if you don't get the play.
I mean, we have to, right?
Said Sipical is still world class and could easily
got such a good pass play
this year, as well as the rest
you
of
have to take weigh Sweden because like live events playing against each other is the only comparison we have.
Some contributors
I'm so glad Ahmad made top 20. Ahmad
did. In fact, not only was Ahmed there,
I think he could be higher.
Just making it look easy at the moment. Oh, that's wide open though. Ahmad, can he cover him? Oh, what a save!
TRK statistically was the best performing though on the team.
In the very first series, Sandrock swept G2 with Ahmed providing a 0-second deja vu moment for Sandrock fans.
Both teams posture for OT. G2 will quite happily take it. Sandrock, they don't want to go there.
Such a good shot. It's such a good shot.
Anticipate no more. Sandrock Gaming have arrived.
I loved how much love he's given to Ahmad in that.
Here we have our first really interesting comparison to last year, as JNAPS repeats as the number 16 player in the world back-to-back. It definitely speaks to his consistency. Even though they didn't get the results they would have liked as the number 2 seed from North America in Sweden. But if you're curious, yes, JNAPS is still really good.
But they cannot afford JNAPS.
God, that play was so long ago. Holy. I mean, that was when Shopify Rebellion was still KCP.
15, it's another new
and Beast Mode was playing.
Apparently Jack. Jack has asserted himself as a top European superstar, showcasing poise, brains, and mechanics.
Jack?
There were times where his
top 15. I think Jory's is going to get more credit.
Sweden,
Jory's will probably be higher in these.
Only in the top 8. Despite that, Jack is an extremely entertaining player to watch, and you should follow him closely in 2022.
I agree.
Now at number 14, we find the legend, Squishy Muffins. This is the first time a player has been top 5 one year, an honorable mention the next, and now rebounded back to the top 15.
I think there's a lot of respect for Squishy and what he does. There's a lot of people that don't see the mechanical flashy stuff, but what he does as a defender and still hits the crack stuff, like, he's a big reason they were successful day 1 at LAN.
Mechanical Star Mist is still performing well for Envy, winning 2 more regional events after my last top 20 video. Envy didn't have a great showing in Sweden though, and now have traded away Atomic to
That's why he probably got knocked so hard.
Prospect Dries. It'll be really interesting to
this
see
is still really good, but again, when we're talking about individuals,
teammate Turbopulsa.
So what went wrong in the sweeping motion?
They scored more goals than we did in some matches.
Number 12, Chicago. Another consistent star for North America, Chicago finds himself in the top 15 for the 3rd year in a row. Towards the end of 2021, G2 looked incredible. And
I wonder how many people like took into account like his off-field stuff. He does a bunch of really good things for communication and helping and building up his team as well. Seiko getting a lot of love.
Mechanical players like him mesh with guys who have been around for so long, like teammates.
I mean, Seiko comes in and looks like a veteran, and he's a rookie. He plays with so much confidence; it's unbelievable.
He's going to now. What can Seiko do? On the air!
Oh my goodness! Oh, that is utterly godly from the new man on endpoint.
Moving into the top 10
okay,
now,
Stumpy,
it's AJ.
chill.
AJ, the mechanical guru.
Last year, he was just an honorable mention, but it was clear the potential was there, and this year, he
finally getting some love.
Joined by another superstar we'll be seeing soon, plus Illusion, AJ was picked up by FaZe Clan, where he's been a top threat in North America ever since.
Even when he was doing stuff for FaZe before, when he was with Gyro. Like, he was the hard carry. He was the guy that you had to fear for.
For every newcomer we've seen on this
the only reason
list,
V1 beat him there 1 time out of 9 was because they demoed AJ the whole time.
While his team Vitality had an awful showing in Sweden, Alpha is still a world-class
Alpha's
player
cracked.
in Europe. We need to see how he and his teammates K-Dop and Fairy Peak respond this year before we call them washed. They could easily be a top threat in Europe if they still have the drive.
Alpha's so good.
At number 8, it's Dignitas superstar Jorius.
And now it's at
Love
the
that.
other end for the counterattack.
I love that for Jorius. I think Jorius, that's a good spot for Jorius.
Gets the flip reset, flicks it round, and then gets that second.
At 16 years old, Jorius represents the new wave of fast mechanical players taking over the scene. And
He
man,
does
is
kind
he
of look
fun
like
to
Tim
watch.
Henson, doesn't he?
He wasn't even an honorable mention last year, which goes to show how we could easily have 40 or 50 players on this
Yeah.
list and still wouldn't
Top
be
10,
enough to cover
100%.
all the prospects.
Good
Jorius
job.
and
Good job,
Dignitas
committee.
are a
Good job.
must-watch team in 2022. Next,
Literally
at number
me
7,
patting
we
myself
have
on the back.
Mark by 8.
One of the best positional players in the game. Some people think he's a little bit chasey, but his team enables him to do that. I still think he's one of the best positional players in the game.
2020 Team BDS took over Europe, winning online event after online event. Some question their ability to stay on top, though, and even more questioned if they'd be just as good in a LAN environment. Well, in Sweden, Mark and company shut down those doubts pretty quick
To that best team offline in the world.
by winning the whole damn thing. Number 6, Archie. Last year, Archie was ranked number 10, and honestly, I knew nothing
He's
about
pretty
him.
good,
But in
chat.
Sweden, he took
Archie's
Semper
pretty.
to a top 4 finish, and now I
He's pretty
definitely know
good.
who he is. His team is
Statistically,
another
his
example of a
average
young
for like when you
superstar
take his
supported by
aggregate
a
of
more
like all of his
experienced
shooting,
cast. In this case,
saves,
Cassio
passes,
finished
goal
off second.
participation,
Archie will look to continue to
accuracy,
dominate Europe
boost
in 2022.
consumption, everything. Archie's
Moving into
just
the
like
top
you plug him
5,
into any
this
team.
list gets really interesting. Annoyingly, number 5 and 4 are tied in points, and number 3 and 2 are tied in points. So now I'm starting to
Look at
understand
us.
the pulling teeth part of this
Good
ranking.
job to
But
the
we can
community,
still
man.
Rank them head to head based on who was on top more in each list. So with that, here's number 5. Garrett G. If it wasn't clear by now, Garrett will easily go down as one of the greatest Rocket League players of all time.
You
appearing in
can't
every
you
World
can't discredit his
Championship LAN.
consistency.
He's a world
He's the
champion, and
only
he's still
guy
a
who's
top
gone to
10
every
player
single
in the
world
world going
championship.
into his 7th
And despite
year
that, it's not like he's playing poorly. He literally just took second at the major. Like,
At number 4, it's our second BDS player, Extra. The Frenchman is
Not enough credit to Extra
BDS
still.
continues to be successful online and
I think you give
offline.
credit to
Balancing
Extra here
outings
just
and
because
really
of
serving
the
as
result,
face of the team,
right?
doing
You give
most
him
of
the
the
nod.
interviews and appearances. Extra is an incredible
I
player
personally
and deserves
put
his first appearance in
Garrett
the top
over
5.
Extra because he's been doing it longer. But Extra is
Now
playing
into the
incredible.
Top 3, we have the prodigy who lived up to every expectation. First Killer. It's hard to believe he was listed at only number 17.
So it's gonna
last
be
year,
it's
but
gonna
the
be
truth
Monkey
is, he
Moon
was still a
Justin First
relatively
Killer.
unproven rookie on Rogue back then. Now, after his second year in RLCS with a great run in Sweden,
Sorry for spoiling
his
it.
fans would certainly tell you he's the best in the world, and they definitely have a case.
And then Alden's above
Bang.
everybody else. Back to First Killer.
He's playing great. He's playing great Rocket League.
Ridiculous. It was monstrous. Alu catching that
I can't wait to boast about Justin here in a second.
What?
Of why I think Justin is deserving of being above.
Now for number 2, tied in points but just eking out First Killer head to head, we have last year's number 1 player.
Okay, I actually want to give detail to this. So again, I talk a lot about Justin and what he's done for his gameplay. That's made me really excited about him as a player. In the past, when Justin came in, we're talking like season 5, season 6, it always felt like he tried to do too much. He relied too heavily on his mechanics rather than understanding his mechanics enable additional options. Not that he always needs to use them. So when he was a young player, it always felt like when energy was losing, he would try to make up for it. I see a lot of similarities in that in Calm and in V1, where like when V1's struggling, Calm's like, I've got to do everything. I'm going to commit too much and it's going to cause issues. But as Justin has solidified and basically fell into his role as a player, you see him being smarter about what he does and more importantly, does not go for. There's so many times in Justin's gameplay where he just backs off, where he just doesn't challenge. When he knows by being there and his presence is there that he applies pressure, but by not going for it, he's not expending boost. He's not putting himself out of position. He's keeping himself in the play. So over the last, I would say like 2 years, like all of RLCS now, 21, 22, and X, and like even season 9, you're seeing those like adjustments in Justin's gameplay, and I love it. I'm really impressed by how Justin's been playing lately. It's been absolutely fantastic. So that's my piece on it.
Justin. His team NRG beat out FaZe Clan in the semifinals at Sweden, and he's still
And he's
one of
still
the
hard
biggest
carries like
threats
crazy.
in North
Let's-
America and the world.
I wouldn't say
This
hard
year
carries,
will be a
but
defining one
he
for
does some
Justin
pretty
because
incredible
we'll
stuff.
see
Statistically and
even more
everything else, he's really
in-person
good.
LAN events where he's historically thrived. Can he continue to pop off and lead NRG back to championships? We'll have to see. But here's what we do know. The number 1 player in the world right now was a unanimous decision by our contributors with a perfect 180-point score. It's clear this player terrifies everyone in the world. The number 1 player
Esports Rookie
is a
of the Year.
musty cow.
That's not true. Skipping it. I will not.
Decisive victory.
I will not stand for this blasphemy. I'm skipping it. Get it out of here.
With BDS's decisive victory over NRG in Sweden, the European juggernauts are currently
Every
the
time.
unofficial
What was it? In 2020, he did John Sandman, right? I think he did John Sandman. Yeah, he did John Sandman in the last one.
#1 ranked team in the world, and Monkey Moon is the best player on that team. It's simple. He's shown everyone in the scene that he can take down anyone, online or in person, and he's clearly at the top right now.
And he's wholesome as
The only
heck.
question is,
They have got the biggest targets on their backs.
can he stay on top?
It's a good question.
What's coming at you? What are some thoughts?
Nope.
It's beautiful. I
Nope.
mean,
Salty
it
licorice.
shows,
Don't do
you
it,
know,
man.
one
Don't do it.
treat supporting another, you know.
That will put
Holding the other
any
one up.
number
I
one
think
player
that
down a peg.
symbolism
Don't do
really
it.
Shows just, you know, the teamwork that is involved in Rocket League Turbo. Would you agree with that?
I don't want to be here.
Turbo. Every time, man. Every time. Alrighty. That's a pretty good list. What do you guys think, chat? How do you guys feel about that list? I think that list was actually pretty solid. I think the committee and the fact that it's aggregated and they take a bunch of different opinions, I think the committee did a pretty good list. Let me see if I can pull it up again. So you got Monkey Moon 1, Justin 2, First Killer 3, Extra 4, Garrett 5, RG 6, Mark by 8, 7, Joria's 8, Alpha 9, AJ 10. That's not bad. There's a big jump between Alpha and AJ from 9-10. And then Seiko at 11 is only 2 points behind AJ. I think Squishy could probably go a bit higher. And there's some adjustments here and there, maybe in the top 10 from like 6 to 10. But overall, it's a pretty solid list. Yeah, King Card not being an honorable mention. Yeah, I think that's just a matter of if people put it there or not. So I think it's a pretty good job. Overall, it's always good to see, you know, Sunless put in a little bit of a cheeky narrative. Obviously adding some like silliness to it. But overall, it feels like these are done pretty dang well. So again, shout outs to Sunless. Sunless, not only for letting us watch this and do this and react to this with you guys, both on YouTube Frog, but also here on chat, but along the lines of, even though I haven't been part of the RLCS, he still reaches out to me. He still like thinks my opinion on these is valued. So shout outs to Sunless and his, I guess, perception of me. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for doing this, even though I kick and scream every single time, being like, oh, I have to do this again. I don't like doing this. It goes against everything I stand for, but not really. But it's still super fun. So shout outs to Sunless. Shout outs to his videos. If you guys don't already, go check out his content. And if you guys are in the mood for checking out content, check out mine maybe. You guys are watching this. Maybe you guys like it. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Any questions, comments, concerns, as always. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, notifications, all that kind of stuff. And then chat, as a collective, we are going to say goodbye to Violent Panda because he's rude. Ban him. Just ban him. Get him out of here. Get him out. I don't care if he has a check mark. Have a good one, everybody.